Welcome to the Christian Pattern, the podcast where we teach the pure and unadulterated teachings of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Hello guys, sorry I was not involved in devotional yesterday. Where I might have been. Things have been crazy around here. But we are to regain. We are to regroup. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Because we are going to sing O Little Town of Bethlehem. As soon as I can find the appropriate, maybe this is appropriate, I hope. Notifications, of course, and ads. I hate it when technology does not cooperate. Here we go. Sweet shining, the everlasting light, hopes and fears. We will now sing hymn number 303, Keep the Commandments, after which I will have an opening prayer. There is safety, in this there is peace. He will send blessings. He will send blessings. Words of a prophet. Keep our commandments. In this there is safety and peace. We will now have an opening prayer. Heavenly Father, We are indeed mindful of thee today, this day, this night, that we once again begin to study the advent and coming of thy Son, Jesus Christ, and how precious he is to us, both literal house of Israel, and those grafted in by virtue of their baptism. And we thank thee for so many wonderful blessings. In the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. A reading of the second book of Nephi, chapter 15.
And then will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved, touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, it brought forth wild grapes. And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up. And I will break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. And I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, and behold, oppression, for righteousness, but behold, a cry. Woe unto them that join house to house, till there can be no place that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In mine ears, said the Lord of hosts, of a truth many houses shall be desolate, and great and fair cities without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield 1 bath, and the seed of a homer shall yield an ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, and wine inflame them. And the harp, and the viol, the tabret, and pipe, and wine are in their feasts. But they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure. And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. Then shall the lambs feed after their manner, and the waste places of the fat ones shall strangers eat. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with a cart rope. That say, let him make speed, hasten his work that we may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come that we may know it. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. Woe unto the wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto the mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, who justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, their root shall be rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. And he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. None shall be weary nor stumble among them. None shall slumber nor sleep. Neither shall the girdle of their loins be loosed, nor the latchet of their shoes be broken. Whose arrows shall be sharp, and all their bows bent, and their horses' hoofs shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind, their roaring like a lion. They shall roar like young lions, yea, they shall roar and lay hold of the prey, and shall carry away safe, and none shall deliver. And in that day they shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if they look unto the land, behold, darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof.
Permeate imaging is...
All right, now, we will sing. Our next hymn is Hark the Herald, after which we will have our New Testament reading. Here we go. I'm going to look for it and find it. If not, there we go. Here we go. Let's sing this, people. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. The heaven-born Prince of Peace, hail the Son of Righteousness, and life he brings within in his wings. And glory by, or life and no more may die, born to raise them from the earth, born to give the second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Okay, now we will read from the 5th chapter of the book of Galatians, so you know, programming note. Beginning the 19th, we will do a variation from Galatians. And here's why. Because Christmas is approaching. We're going to start with the genealogy and the surrounding events with Christ's birth. So, what can I say? Be ready. And since my computer is not going to cooperate, we're going to have to use this phone. So be patient with me. We're going to go to Galatians. We're actually in Galatians chapter 4. And like I said, we're not going to be able to finish chapter 4. Or really chapter 5. We'd studied those in November, so. And we will again in next November. Only time we may not is in 2025. I'll mix it up. But here we go. Chapter 4. It's 5 verses. It's It's divided into fifths, so we're going to do the first 6 verses of Galatians chapter 4. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. Verse 3. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his Son, made of a woman, born under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. And because ye are sons, God hath sent forth the Spirit of his Son into you, into your hearts, crying, Abba, Father. Okay. It's obvious for me that we're probably going to seek another translation. And when we're speaking of, Christ and the law and the like, I'd like to take the Messianic translation. But instead, and I know it's difficult to search for these things, I think what we will do instead is we're going to go for the Jerusalem Bible. Are you ready? What I'm saying is this. An heir, during the time while he is still underage, is no different from a slave, even though he is the owner of all the property. He is under the control of guardians and administrators until the time fixed by his father. So, in verse 4 it says, but when the completion of the time came, God sent his Son, born of a woman, born a subject to the law. But I like to say under the law. And here's the thing. When you put together this, plus 2 Nephi chapter 15, Christ is the answer to renew America. And I've always felt that way. I mean, because I look at 2 Nephi 15, which is comparative and almost, I'd say, concurrent, slightly with Isaiah chapter 5, was written for our day, especially in the Book of Mormon, written for our day. Because what do we have? We have apostasies. It's something. We have some preachers lulling people to sleep with feel-good messages, not obeying any promptings of the Spirit. Of course, none of that happening in the restoration of the gospel, of course. And then you have preachers crying out for the savings of souls. I'd like to be for the latter, so that we can renew this country. Yes, I'm interested in politics. But when it comes to this podcast, I do political neutrality. Because that is the position of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I know some people have a problem with that. Earnestly, I don't. Here's why. You blur the lines. Separation between church and state does not mean the same thing in Eagle versus Vitale and Arlington Township versus Ship. It is to protect politics from sponsoring any religion that could be misconstrued as a national religion. Church can still be responsible for government affairs. But what the church may not do, and this is my opinion, is we cannot be going around as a church body as a whole supporting candidates. Our job is not to get involved in political debate and argument and contention and the like. Okay? That's the degenerate culture. Our job is to preach the gospel. Pure, holy, and simple. And why not? Why not? You see, the Book of Mormon is replete with histories of such degenerate political debate. How do you think that the Nephite civilization ultimately got destroyed? Because the society gradually deteriorated. Now, I'm not going to come here and preach, a wonderful message of how this country is in trouble. It is, don't get me wrong. But the restoration of the gospel of Jesus Christ is a gospel of hope. While so many others out there are trying to do two things: lull their people to sleep or scare them. I don't believe in scare tactics to motivate people. I believe in inspiring, bringing people hope. We got enough scaring and getting people angry in this world. Okay? That's Satan's plot. That's Satan's tactics and principles. And it doesn't matter what I'm talking about, whether I'm talking about business, which I do in a few podcasts, or I talk about politics, which I do one actual, that's on current events, and then a historical fiction political podcast. But I always try to keep them grounded on principles of one thing: the restoration of the gospel of Jesus Christ. With that, I hope you enjoyed listening to Christian Pattern. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the Christian Pattern community. Until next time, remember who you are. Read your scriptures. And please preach the gospel. And remember this, from the bottom of my heart, Jimmy loves you. I really, 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 really love you. God bless you, and have a blessed day.